WhistlePig Whiskey's innovation motto is to try anything in a barrel once. With a farm-to-glass ethos and led by an all-female team of blenders and distillers, sustainability is key for the company that processes all whiskey in one place. From the rye fields to distilling, barrelling, aging and bottling, we took a peek behind the curtain at the old dairy farm in Shoreham, Vermont.
My personal innovation philosophy is you got to give people space and time. My role is to basically put on the chief crazy officer hat and push them a little bit further. Innovation shouldn't be comfortable. So if we're talking about yeast in the distillery and they want to go catch wild yeast, I'm like, can we go to the top of the mountain? Can we catch it from a bee's butt in the prettiest flower? Now we might not get the bee, but we'll definitely get the top of the mountain. WhistlePig never started out, consciously to create a sustainable whiskey. It was out of necessity, right? When we started the company almost 12 years ago, we were in the middle of nowhere in Vermont. So we weren't on city water, we had no city sewer, we had no reliable power. I think that challenged us more than anything. How do we create a distillery in the middle of this historic barn, create great whiskey, but also be good stewards of the land? By year 2025, we feel we'll be basically 100% carbon neutral. Our electricity by the end of this year, will be 100% coming from our solar panels. And right now, all our waste is converted over into renewable natural gas.
With decades of experience in the alcoholic beverage industry, but zero in generations of distillers, the WhistlePig team is disrupting the old boys club. Their R&D lab serves as a space to get weird, push boundaries, and not have any real preconceived notions of what should happen.
Welcome to the Sugar Shack. This is kind of where the magic happens. Of course, at the distillery, that's where the true magic happens, but this is also where the magic happens in maple syrup form. We're actually sitting behind our maple forest. We've got about 1,000 taps back there. We're in the tail end of tap season, right when the temperatures go from freezing to warmer climate, so spring, kind of into February, beginning of May. That's peak tap time. It smells amazing in here. I'm sorry you actually can't smell it. If we had smell-o-vision, you would be appreciating everything that's happening right now. So Vermont, not a typical place where you would have a whiskey distillery, but I think it's also really important and it translates into our product. We like to talk about our triple terroir, our taste of place. So we've got water, wood, and grains. Specifically, rye is the star of the show. We use a Denko varietal, which is super awesome and unique. We're early adopters of the testing methodology to kind of depict how that was going to translate into our whiskey. So talking a little biochemistry, right? I've worked with startups, I've worked in craft and large corporations, but I would say definitely when I first started in the industry, most of the rooms I was standing in, I was the only female. Definitely in an old boys club. That's just the way it was. Now I feel like it's definitely changed throughout the course of my tenure, especially here at WhistlePig. Oftentimes, the meeting room might be all female.
WhistlePig grows rye grain on their 500-acre farm. The rye is then harvested and milled right across the street. It is planted in the fall, which means lower erosion, and leads to a more sustainable process.
I think sustainability day to day here really does start out on the farm. It starts with our grain. We are always pushing ourselves here at WhistlePig to continue to find the next best thing, to unlock the different flavors and potential of rye, but also on top of rye, looking at other drinks, what's new, what's exciting, what's going to be the next thing. Some of our big innovations that we've done recently, a project that comes to mind that was a lot of fun, was working with Big Poppy and doing a baseball bat finish whiskey. We toasted those baseball bats and then put those inside each of the individual barrels and inflicted different flavors, some nice kind of caramel notes that came from the maple wood. We've done a bunch of different types of experiments here. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. We get to drink our mistakes around here, which is not the worst thing in the world.